All right, so welcome to the final event of the Discover Multi-Faith Fair, hosted by your Multi-Faith and Spirituality Center team and many, many volunteers and many participants. So we have 3 days, had 3 days of events. I think they were actually, including the closing ceremony, we've had 13 events plus activities. So I don't know if anyone watched videos of past events, went on a virtual journey of sacred sites around the world, participated in our pickles, draw a prayer, draw a thought event. We've had workshops, we've had quizzes, we've learned, we've gathered, we've laughed. Yes, we've also experienced technical glitches. There were many of those as well. But here we are, and I don't know about you, but I've been enriched by what we've experienced. So, and that is what we're here to celebrate, to give thanks for, and just to have a time to share some of our learnings. But before we go there, I actually want to start with some housekeeping. And I want to say, first of all, a huge thank you to everyone who participated. We are taping this, so I'm also hoping that some of the volunteers who might check this out later will hear this, but we will also send them an email or note. But a huge thank you, because this fair only works because we have so many of you who participated, who volunteered, who are willing to take a risk and opened up about who you are, what makes you tick, what gives you hope and joy, and to share that with strangers, with people you may not have known, and also in a very kind of weird format online. Sometimes that's being taped for perpetuity. So thank you. Thank you to those who came, because again, we could not have done it without you. And I have a few interesting statistics. We actually had 80 people registered. Now, sadly, just because they registered, that didn't mean they showed up, but still there was enough interest that 80 people registered. And the majority of the folks were from Quebec. We had one person from BC. We had one person from the US, from India, from Indonesia, and the United Arab Emirates. So I think that's something to celebrate. So, and then we had lots of participants, and I'm also hoping that the impact of the fair will continue as people watch the videos and watch the recordings. I also want to, those of you who did come, I would like to just ask you to keep an eye out for an evaluation. This was the first time we did anything like this virtually. We learned lots, we had a lot of fun, but we really want to hear from you what went well and what we could have done better, and what were the major glitches. So please tell us. And then, so we'll do the prizes after, but I do want to I've asked a few people to reflect on the fair on the last few days, maybe a part of it. Maybe you were part of one event and that's awesome. So I've asked 3 people to reflect just for a minute or so in quite an informal way, and then I'll open it up to the rest of you. So in no particular order, someone from Hillel. I think, Harry, are you the one who's going to speak?
Sure.
Thanks, Harry.
So, pleasure. So, first of all, I want to thank you guys for organizing this event. I think it's been fantastic from what I've heard from my colleagues and from me also attending the intro ceremony. But I want to say, I think what is the greatest part of this event is often, especially during this time, from my perspective and from our perspective, we're kind of close-knit in our own community groups. And we don't often have the opportunity to hear the perspective of different spiritual groups on campus, whether it be, indigenous culture, whether it be Muslim culture, Christian culture, religion, I can go on and on. We aren't often introduced to those perspectives in this type of setting. And the fact that this fair has given us the opportunity to be immersed in that in a fun way and learn about what unites us, I think that is the most important thing. So, thank you.
Thanks so much, Harry. That's a really great reminder that's part of our work to do that, to connect with others. And next, and you got a clap there from John. Well done. The next person I'm going to ask is Nora.
So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And for me, as Harry have mentioned, this has been like a safe way of like asking and interacting with other religion, like asking how your food and culture and background. And it was very fun. Mark had us tested, and hopefully we passed. and and it was really like it was one of the things I really was on my calendar. I have been with Rome from a lot of events, so for me to come here, you really showed how capable you are to make it fun and interesting. So thank you.
Ellie, you're on mute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nora.
You made it through the whole week without being on mute.
No, I didn't. I'm looking for Alicia. And I can't find her. Alicia, are you there? No. All right, Alicia was there a minute ago and then she left, so that's okay. So then I'm going to open it to all of us. What were some of the highlights for you of the fair? Maybe one event. What did you learn? What surprised you? You can answer any of these questions. And so I just like to ask you to, you can either speak up if there's a lull or just raise your hand. John from Hillel, go.
Hi, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button there. I wanted to say I enjoyed a lot of it, but my favorite event that I attended was the peace panel. I thought that provided a really interesting perspective, hearing from different faith leaders and community leaders. It was really refreshing and be able to ask them any question and just to get their own individual perspectives. I thought was really, really special.
Thanks, John. Asfar.
Thanks. So it's been a great fair, a lot of nice events. So among the ones which I participated, the quiz which we did today was really awesome. And there were very good questions. And frankly, it did not give me the scope to learn about other faiths. I really learned something new about my own faith as well, which came as a surprise to me. So thanks for a wonderful fair and looking forward for the next events. Thank you.
Thanks, Asfar. It's very true that when we learn about others, we learn about ourselves. And that's one of the beautiful pieces. Often there's sort of I sometimes encounter that fear that if I expose myself to other religions, I might lose my own. But I think the contrary is actually true, that I actually deepen my own. What about others? Andrew.
I really loved the panel on peace. I was like blown away by the how quickly and honest how quickly people got to some pretty deep things and how honest they were. I found super interesting, and I wish I'd been able to make it through to the end. But that, and then I lost the quiz. Like, you know, I'm still reeling. It's what I did not need that kind of thing during a pandemic, right? But anyway, and there was only two of us. It's worse. There was two of us and I lost. So there we go.
Well, Andrew, maybe you'll have to do some remedial classes or attending of MFSC activities. I don't know. That's very funny.
At least you have a trial and you know your mistake. Next time you're gonna survive.
Oh yeah, next time I'm a ringer for sure.
But it also builds resilience, I think, you know, because if you have an experience of failure, you know now how to cope, Andrew. All right. other folks who either want to say something they learned, something that surprised them, or also general feedback.
I love the platform that you used where we dragged our avatar in the rooms. This felt real. Like I felt I am on campus and I'm navigating through the rooms. Which one do I choose? Which one do I go? So I love that so much, and I know it would not have been easy. And I believe it was Deborah who was after before, like, you know, supporting that. So I think that's a hard work, need to be acknowledged, and everyone hard work, like, you know, the quiz, the launch, like everything. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks, Nora. And maybe now is a good time to also acknowledge that the multi-faith team, most of us, or all of us are here, Ashley, Belinda, Mark, and Deborah, worked very hard, but we also had huge support from one person from hospitality, and that's Jessica Dabi. Jessica came on board. We asked about doing this fair, and she really, we couldn't have done it without her. She built the website with IITS. Oh, there she is, Jessica. I'm just talking about you. She kept us on track. She asked us questions I didn't even know existed and that we had to answer. And she actually put together that Wonder platform, which I love the name. I love the fact that we're in bubbles during COVID that are safe. And I love the fact that we float around kind of weightlessly, like I imagine space. And in that free space, we explore amazing stuff. So Jessica, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to you for, I really feel you've been part of our team. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys did a great job. And I also want to congratulate you because you really went out of your comfort zone. And I think you did a great job in, you know, adapting to this new situation. So thumbs up.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna like just give us some food for thought, because the next question I want to ask us is, where do we take this? So we've had an amazing experience, amazing experiences. We could probably spend a lot of time just chatting, and our team will do a debrief. But it's more a technical thing, what went well, what didn't go well. But we also want to look ahead and say, how do we take that energy, that encounter, how do we take what we want to accomplish, and that's to talk to people of different faiths and different spiritual paths, and make that sort of an everyday event, and encourage people to do that more regularly. So how do we take that beyond the fair? Oh, Sepide, I forgot. Thank you, Deborah. Sepide is an amazing part of our team. She is our publicity person, and if you go on Facebook or on Instagram, it's all Sepide's amazing work. So I apologize for leaving you out, but you're amazing. So thank you. So before we go into the next question, I just want to share with you sort of a space for a bit of food for thought, and I want to share with you the awesome, I want to say, prayer flags that we created together. So there was this platform called Pickles. And you could enter. We had 2 questions. What is your hope, your prayer, your thought? And then for Remembrance Day, we had, how do you contribute to peace in the world? And the app developers then put this together into a video. And I want to share this with you. And as you watch it, just think back and think ahead. So let me make sure it works. What am I doing? There we go. Okay, I have this all organized, so hang on. There we go. I'm still learning, I just want to say. It's not letting me share. There we go. All right, and that was our video. And we all did that together. Isn't it amazing? And probably some other folks who we don't even know. We don't know who shared. See some high fives. That's great. So thank you for being part of that too. And you'll probably see it on some MFSC website or something. So now I want to ask you that question. How do we take our learnings, that feeling of connectedness, of opening up each other, opening ourselves up to each other? How do we take that out into the term, into the university, and ultimately into our world? Again, raise your hand. Doesn't have to be super profound or deep. It can just be an idea. Yes, Mark.
So thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the events and staying and being here right now. I think just one of the elements from sort of the Wonder event today, but whether it's related to one's faith, but having the courage to ask meaningful questions, even if they're not necessarily the most profound. Are you happy? What's interesting to you? What is your clothing or a symbol on your clothing mean? So yeah, asking meaningful questions, I think, is one simple way to move forward.
Thanks, Mark.
I can go. I would say also it's similar to what Mark just said about asking questions, but also just having a conversation. I think finding common grounds and values goes a long way. And then once you find those similar values, you can find ways to build bridges instead of other stuff.
I like how there was set of topics and like a few little questions to direct the conversation, but whatever was raised, we attended to. So it was really free and opening to whatever direction the conversation goes to, because that's how we explore, that's how we grow. So I like the freedom about it.
Okay, so that's a bit about methodology. It's lovely. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you.
Asfar, yes, please go ahead.
Thanks. So I would just like to echo with Nora that freedom, the freedom to express at your own. Like in the peace panel session, I was really amazed in the way some speakers really talked on various aspects of their faith. Most often we see people actually saying positive things or more convincing things about own faith, but when they were asked about that, what is the implication of war or peace in their religion, they were actually open enough to discuss about both parts, what their faith said, regardless of whether it sounds positive or negative. So I really appreciate that. This freedom of expression is so important. So thanks for that.
Thanks, Asfar.
If I may add one more thing, if that's okay, if I'm allowed to speak to.
You bet.
Thank you. I liked that how we introduced the myth about each religion, like our religion, and how we, like people, when I was explaining, many people felt like, yeah, this is a myth, we know that. And it was so heartwarming that people believe even before I explained it. So I felt the connection in this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Nora. Others? I've also heard some suggestions. Oh, we should do this more often. And I've certainly had ideas. The panel went very well. It's funny because it almost seems easier in Zoom. We've tried panels in person. And we have a really hard time getting people. And on Zoom, it actually seemed to work well. So that's certainly encouraging. The speed faithing and the sacred symbol show and tell, I think were also two very popular events that people said we should do that again. So I think stay posted for further programs of the MFSC team next term. This term we have our programs planned, and I know students are also, it's getting towards the towards the end of term and the end of term stress, and this term is particularly heightened that because we're all online. So any other final thoughts on that before we get to some of the fun part, like prizes? No, Ashley, any turn off your camera. Anyone else from our team want to add anything? Any other observations, critiques, food for thought?
My internet is really unstable right now, so I turned off my video to try and stay online.
That's
but
awesome.
I love all of your reactions, and everything's moving really slowly right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. And that's great it's all of you are, it's great to turn off your camera when you need to. So it's important we look after ourselves. All right, so then let me proceed to the fun part. We've had prizes. We already had some prizes we gave away at the quizzes. I'm sorry, Andrew, you didn't win one. You know, but if you talk to Mark, we might run it again, and I don't know. So anyway, we have two sets of prizes. We have a prize for anyone who participated in any activity who was a student. And then we actually have 3 student prizes. And then we have 2 prizes for volunteers. I have 2 little containers here. And I'm sorry, I have to do everything because I was the one who had the capacity to print, and I copied them all off. So I hope you can see their little tags in there with different names. So these are the student names. I would love it if someone could, you know, do it for me, but you know, anyway. So can someone give me a drum roll, please? I can't hear it, Mark. No, you'd have to unmute yourself for me to hear anything.
But you couldn't hear anything I was doing?
No, sorry, Andrew. Yes, now we're going. Okay, drum roll, please. And the first student winner is Sai. Yay! So we will contact those people. Yay, we contact them, and they have a choice of a gift certificate. So that's what we're doing this year. Super easy. So, and the next winner is Chelsea Just.
Yay!
She was a new person who joined us this year, and that's awesome. And I'm trying to mix them all up. And the third person, Marco Maigua. I don't even know Marco. Who knows Marco? Congrats to Marco. So here we go. We'll contact them. We have all of the info. Yay, way to go. And now we have in my little loggy thing, Marco is Tony. Oh, okay. So Marco is actually not a student. Well, then we have to withdraw that again. I'm sorry, folks. So this is a student prize. We do know Mark or Tony, so here we go. Third chance. Maybe it's your lucky turn yet. Who is this? Oh, awesome. Henry Lovegren.
Ooh.
He's from Hillel, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the president of Hillel Concordia.
Woohoo! So lucky Henry is gonna hear from us and get a prize. That's awesome. Yay! Fantastic. Now onto the volunteers. I have, can you see it? All the names of anyone who volunteered. So those are, who were the volunteers? So Speed Faithers, some of you, Andrew, people who participated, who helped us. We had several students helping us with technical stuff, recording events, being there to make sure we manage the technology, the panelists, of course. So we'll draw 2 prizes for those. All right. Sharon is the first one. Sharon was one of the Speed Faithers. And the second volunteer is, am I doing this person? Christine. Christine Menendez, who was actually, did the Sacred Show and Tell. She works at CAST, so that's awesome. So these are our prize winners. Congrats. If you didn't win, hopefully you'll win next year, because I'm hoping we will do this again. And I hope you will come, and maybe we'll be back in the atrium, but I also think we learned a lot by doing this online and have ideas for next year. So I think that's all I have to say, I want to say, because it's been a long week, a lot of time on screen, but I just want to offer the opportunity for any last words from any of you.
I'm taking my hat off to you all, because you put together this thing that was incredibly ambitious, really, like seriously ambitious. And who was it? Oh, she seems to have gone. There was a woman who said how you'd actually all, like, you know, gone out of your comfort zone and learned some new things. So that I have to agree with that. That's just amazing. And so hat tip to you all.
Thank you, Andrew. I guess I want to add, I don't think we knew what we were in for when we started the process, to be totally honest. Deb is shaking her head. And I don't know if we would have done this had we known. But, you know, sometimes we start on an adventure and we don't know where it takes us. And that's a little bit what the spiritual journey and the journey of being human is. We start out and here we are, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in situations with people that we didn't expect, and we just learn and grow and are enriched and struggle sometimes too and are frustrated, but ultimately I do believe it enriches us. And so so I guess it is my hope that all of us do take something away from this fair, that we all can look back and say, wow, this was really made me think, this surprised me, I learned this about myself. And I also hope and pray that you don't just leave it now when we close this fair, but that you take with us that intention to always learn about yourselves and learn about others and learn about this world, because I do believe it makes the world a better place and ultimately builds peace. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, and I hereby close this fair in gratitude to you, but knowing that the work that we engage in together continues, and the MFSC is open and connects with you. And you can watch some of the events online, so stay posted. But in gratitude to all of you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.